Today, we return to our outdoor shelter in Sentinel, Oklahoma to take Bandit on a foster field trip to Quartz Mountain State Park. Plus, we explore some small, rural towns in western Oklahoma. This was a fun trip, and I recommend sticking around until the end so that you can see everything we saw. Our first stop of the day was a town named Corn. Founded in 1903, the town originally had a German name, Corn, spelled with a K. Today, Corn has a population of under 600. However, it still features various historical buildings, a museum, and other things that will tell you about the history of the town. When we were there, we realized that we hadn't had breakfast that morning, so we made a stop at the Corn Café, and I got an absolutely delicious breakfast burrito. So, if you're ever in this area of western Oklahoma and don't know what to do, don't forget that you can always visit Corn. And after leaving Corn, we made a stop in New Cordell to admire their beautiful town square. After visiting New Cordell, we made our way to Sentinel to pick up Bandit for our foster field trip. Today, we're taking Bandit to Quartz Mountain State Park, which is located in southwestern Oklahoma at the western end of the Wichita Mountains. And we're taking Bandit on the New Horizon Trail. This is a very short trail in terms of mileage, but it has plenty of elevation gain and very good views, which makes it worth your time. I'll start off by saying even though this trail was very rocky and even steep in some parts, Bandit had absolutely zero issues navigating. We have visited Quartz Mountain State Park on multiple occasions on this channel, and we know that it is one of our favorite places to visit in Oklahoma. And since it was spring, that meant the trees are green and the flowers are blooming, which made it even better. And while we fortunately or unfortunately didn't see any rattlesnakes on the trail, we still did see some wildlife. Here's an eastern collared lizard and one of the turkey vultures that were swarming the top of the mountain the entire time. The trail also provides a pretty good view of Lake Altus-Lugert, and it was fun watching boats on the water. When you get towards the top of the maintained part of the New Horizons Trail, it opens up into this valley between the higher mountain on the left and some cliffs that you can overlook on the right. This is a great place to stop for a food or water break, but if you're not quite tired yet, there are lots of social trails leading to great viewpoints. Spring in Oklahoma gets pretty hot, so Bandit decided that he needed to crawl under one of the many rocks on the mountain to get some shade. Look at him. Then it was time to head back down, and as I always say on mountains like this, the views going down are much better than the views going up. And as we were finishing the trail, we all realized that we were hot and tired, so we were desperately trying to find a place that would get us some ice cream. And in driving through the area looking for anything, we stumbled upon this convenience store called The Wind and Stone. The cashier working there was very nice and informed us that the animals that we saw in the store were dumped by people outside the park, and the owner took them in and cared for them. An animal rescue like that is something that we will always support on this channel. Plus, they had the ice cream we were looking for. So if any of you are ever visiting Quartz Mountain State Park for any reason, I highly recommend visiting the Wind and Stone convenience store. I think Bandit would agree because he was eagerly watching us from the car the entire time as we tried to pick out one of their homemade dog treats. And we got Bandit one of the woofie pies, and he very much enjoyed it. Well, it was sadly time to bring Bandit back to Sentinel before we would play with the other dogs from the shelter and then make one final stop for the day, and it might not be where you would expect. Our final stop of this video is called Nowhere. Nowhere is a small unincorporated community by Fort Cobb State Park, and we ate there for dinner at the middle of nowhere patio and grill. And this place is great for the situation where you want to take a picture and tell all your friends you're in the middle of nowhere. I personally thought my onion burger was delicious, and the other members of my group had good things to say about their food as well. So if you've had a long day on the lake at Fort Cobb State Park, do not hesitate to come here. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I would like to personally thank you because you are awesome. And we will have many more foster field trips coming in the future, so if you want to see those, don't be afraid to subscribe.